Oh, well, hello there, friends and family. Glad to have you over again in my little old country kitchen. And we've got to do some cooking tonight. It's starting to run late as normal. And I'm going to cook up something that's a blast from the past. Now, if you're my age or older, you'll remember this when you were a child growing up. Especially if you were on the lower income side. Or poor, as we were. And this dish isn't often made anymore. And I think my grandmothers and mother actually got it off a can. So what we're going to do is show you what you're going to need. And maybe you'll remember this meal yourselves. So come on over, let's take a look at what we got. So what you're going to need, you're going to need some salmon. Yep. Now I'm going to be using this black top pink salmon, and these are 7.5 ounce cans. I've got 2 of them, but you could use one large can that's normally about 14.75 ounces. You're going to need a can of green sweet peas. Then you're going to need some spices, some oregano leaves. You're going to need some basil leaves, and of course some ground black pepper, minced onion, minced garlic, some flour. It can be all purpose or just general flour. You're going to need some milk, some butter. I'm using salted butter right there. Yep, salted. Some Parmesan cheese, grated. And some Duke's mayonnaise. Oh, you could use your favorite brand. Hellman's. Or even Miracle Whip, I guess. But if you're in the South, you know it's got to be Duke's. So, what's this dish called? Well, my mama called it, and my grandmama's, salmon squiggle. So you might remember that back in the day. And like I say, I don't know if anybody's cooking this up for a long time. But it's just one of those childhood meals that I have memories of. And I'm sure Mama cooked it up when things were tight. So, first thing we gotta do is we gotta get us a pot, which we got over there on our stove. Let me get y'all set up, and let's get this show on the road. So the first thing we're going to do is get a fire going underneath our pot. We're going to put it on medium, which is 5 on my stove. Then what we're going to do is we're going to add in 3 tablespoons of that sweet cream butter right here. Like I said, I'm using salted butter. We're going to get that to start melting, okay? Now I do hope y'all are watching that butter for me so it don't burn. Now we're just going to take that spoon and we're going to move that butter around. Try to speed it up, getting it to melt there for us. Oh yeah, it's coming right along. Okay, next what we got to do is we got to add in 3 tablespoons of flour to that butter. So we're going to get that going on over here. Plop those 3 tablespoons right on in there. Just like that. And all you're going to want to do is get that flour in there with that butter. You're going to make like a nice paste. And go ahead, turn the temp down some on the stove so you don't burn it. And you're going to be wanting that to get some color. Oh yeah. Now, we're going to add in a cup of milk. So we got that butter on in there. Now we're just slowly going to add on in the milk to the butter and flour mixture. Just like that. We're going to turn our heat back up to about medium. Next thing we're going to do is open up our can of those green peas. We're going to drain the liquid out and we're going to put it on in there. Every bit of it. Just like that. Drain those peas. And we're going to bring this up to a boil. And it's at this point that you're not going to want to walk off or leave this alone for long. Otherwise, you're going to be burning your milk. Now, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be adding in some spices. Well, that's coming up to temperature. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add in a teaspoon of basil. We'll plop it on in there. Now we're going to put in a half teaspoon of oregano. Just like that. Next is we're going to put in a half a teaspoon of black ground pepper. Plop that right on in there too. Next thing we're going to put on in there is some minced onion. And we're going to put in a good tablespoon. Now what you might not know is a tablespoon of minced onion is equal to one small onion. Yes, it is. You'll have to give that a little stir. Turn our heat down a little notch. Okay. I'm going to cut it down to about a 3 on my stove. Then we're going to add in some garlic. Another thing you might not know is when using minced garlic, 1 large clove equals 1.5 teaspoons. And not sure y'all can see it, but this is starting to thicken up nicely. Cut her down just a little bit more. Now, if it gets a little thicker than you want it, you can always add some water, okay? Next thing we're going to add to it is a nice big spoonful of Dukes. In fact, we're going to put just about 2 of those in there. Ooh, that's going to give it some flavor, trust me. Yes, sir. You got to stay on your stirring. We're just going to incorporate that mayo right on in there. Now, we're going to add the grated Parmesan cheese. Right at about 1/4 cup. Just like that. And you just keep stirring all your ingredients on in there Get them all incorporated. It's about now that you'll want to do a little taste test. At this point, we've about got that sauce done. See how nice and thick it is? Woo. Creamy. Oh yeah. Ooh yeah. That's tasting good. Next comes that can of sweet peas. This is a standard size can. 15 ounce. We're going to put those on in there. Get those all nice and blended up. Ooh yeah. So now what we got to do is add in that salmon. We're just going to plop it right on in there. Just like that. Now, if you're worried about bones or skin or any of that, then you can dump your salmon out into a bowl. Pick out all that. But I'll tell you what, you can eat the bones, and they provide you with a good source of calcium. They surely do. Then you're going to use your spoon to break up the salmon. Now, we got both cans in there of that pink salmon. Those were 7.5 ounce cans, and we left the bones in. And then we're just gonna incorporate that all in there and let it heat all the way up through. As you can see, everything but the milk, which I could have used evaporated milk. I had some. Butter, Parmesan cheese, all the rest came out of my pantry. All the ingredients. Now let me show you what we got. Hold on. Not sure y'all can see that well, but you can see we've broken that salmon up. And that, see the peas, and it's just got to meld its flavors and all come together. Now you'll notice I didn't put no additional salt. That's on purpose. There's salt in the salmon, so now would be a good time to taste it. See if it needs anything, seasoning wise. So let me get y'all to step back and give this another taste test. Okay, let's give it a little taste test here. Got our spoon. See if it needs anything. Nope. I think that's going to be just perfect. So, let me prepare another thing, what we'll be having with this, and I'll bring y'all right back, okay? Okay, y'all. Traditionally, when we ate this when I was a child and growing up at home, we ate it over toast. And that's what I've made for myself tonight. Just took some regular old white sandwich bread, toasted it. And next, we're going to take it bring it on over here. Get us a little ladle. Okay, we went and got us a little ladle. And we're just going to take it, plop some down on top of our toasted bread there. Just like that. Give it a little spread. And just to make it look a little more colorful, we're going to take some parsley flakes, sprinkle on top of it there for a little more of that green color. I mean, you could hit it with a little paprika too if you want to. And there we have it. Let me show it to you. And there it is right there. Salmon squiggle on toasted bread. Now you could use a thick crusty bread, French bread, Italian bread, cornbread, or you can eat it over rice, mashed taters, or pasta. But like I say, we traditionally, all I can ever remember was my grandmother's. They always served it over toast, and so did my mother. Doesn't take long to make, and it's all the things that I have in my pantry stock. And if you're into being prepared or of the prepper mindset, you probably have all these in your pantry as well too. So let's give it a taste test and see if it tastes as good as I remember it, because it's been many a year since I've had this. We're just going to cut a soft piece there, some of that squiggle on it. Oh yeah. So let's give it a taste test and see if I remember it correctly. Like tomato mess. That does taste fine. Yep. Oh yeah. Now you might think that salmon's going to have a strong taste. Nope. Not with the seasonings I put in it, and the mayo, and the Parmesan cheese. Yep. In fact, Mama didn't put mayo or Parmesan in it. Those are something I added to on my own over the years to make it more better. But it's a nice quick meal. Like I say, everything should be in your pantry. If not, maybe you'll consider putting some of the things in your pantry. Canned salmon, as long as nothing happens to the cans, will virtually last forever. So, I've got to sit down and eat now. I hope you enjoyed the video. Wasn't much. Just whipping up a quick meal here out of what we had and what we could make. So until I see you on the next video, folks, y'all take care. Stay safe out there. And God bless each and every one of you. Goodbye for now.